I'd like to call this meeting of the Town Board Planning Commission to order on July 8th, 2024 at 5 p.m. All stand please for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with justice for all. Thank you. I'd also like to minutes from the last meeting. Oh, my beaver, give me 1 second. Could I have a motion to approve the minutes from the last planning commission meeting, please?
So moved. I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, I've got the conditional use, the site plan review for Super Mix of Wisconsin. We've got here today, we've got two different ones, one for the south side, one for the north side. Anybody here to talk about that? As I know we've got the paperwork.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Oh, I can feel bad to make you get up now.
I'm Jack Pease, owner of Super Mix of Wisconsin. I guess to make things simple, we have not really done that much of expanding the mining area or restoration. We've had minimal sales the last 2 years. But even at that, we still only have about enough material left to process to make it probably another 2 years, maybe another year past that. So this time, I'm saying not much happened, but the next time I come, we should be well into our final restoration and some future plan for the property, which will include some luxury homes around a nice lake.
Right.
We
So
met with the county staff last week out on the site, and they did a walk through the whole site, and they were very comfortable with where we're at. We have everything restored up to where we're not quite done with the mining. And we're very anxious about getting a last bit of restoration done. And just so you know what's coming up, Dennis Whitty with the nursery supply is waiting for us to get to that point because he'd like to expand his business a little more, and we sell him a few more acres along the frontage. And for a young fellow, he's doing a great job, and I talked to a lot of his customers, and everybody loves Dennis.
I'm one. It's great.
okay. Any questions, comments from anyone?
Have there been any complaints to the town for the last 2 years? I'm not aware of it.
I don't know. Everybody else? All right, so we're gonna take this because it's in two parts. We're gonna take a motion for the south side, please.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Okay, any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Let me also have a motion, please, for the north side.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, and can I have a motion to adjourn?
Thank you for having me. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, we'll just go into correspondence. We don't have any correspondence, any forthcoming events? All right, motion to adjourn.
Wait,
please.
I got something.
Oh.
One of these reclamations here, I don't know which one it is, has the town getting lots on the lake, and I can't remember which one it is. Dale might remember.
So that's the Penadola's Honey Creek plant that's
Right.
farther west.
Okay, but I just don't, so we don't forget that one, because in that plant, we have some lots, the town's getting lots, and they're worth some money. So whenever you talk about reclamation, even on these folks here, you have to consider that type of thing.
Motion to adjourn.
1 second. Do you want to announce resignation? Resignation?
Oh, yeah, that's right. So I literally just got an email from Risa, Looks like she's gonna be a little bit busy from here on out, so she is resigning from her planning commission after I think about 9 years or so. So we will take, if anyone wants to with some sort of application, we will look into that and then decide who we can appoint to fill her spot. So, I don't know, so it's sad to see her go. Looks like she's just taken on a new position. She feel like she has time. So thank you for reminding me. All right, the motion to adjourn.
So moved. I'll second.
Second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Adjourn at 5:10.
Always worth coming. Always worth.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
How's it going? Good?
Good, yeah.
I'd like to call this meeting of the town board of Waterford to order on July 8th, 2024, 5:30 p.m. After we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, we will please take a moment of silence to remember our friend, our mentor, and our leader for since 2015, our county exec, Jonathan Delagrave. We miss him dearly, and we'll take a moment of silence after the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. First order of business, approval of the town board minutes dated June 10th, 2024, special meeting minutes dated June 19th, 2024, as printed.
So moved.
I have a second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approval to pay claims. I'll read the treasurer's report. As of July 1st, general tax checking $117,581.18. General operating money market $247,816.02. Reserve funds $1,528,512.06. And undesignated ARPA recovery funds $172,870.11. And just at the last minute today, we on the claims, we'd like to add a $200 from the town to give to the Jonathan Delagrave Scholarship for student athletes for mental health. If I can have a motion on that, please.
I'll also move a motion. I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, correspondence. I haven't received any correspondence. Department committee reports, we might go a little bit out of order because we missed a word. Wearing a lot of hats today, so I want them just to be able to come up one time. So if you'd like to come up, you could start with your Racine County report, please.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay? Thank you, Madam Chairperson and members of the board. I do want to just start off by acknowledging and certainly extend my appreciation for the moment of silence for the passing of Jonathan. Many of you probably knew Jonathan. I certainly have had the pleasure of working with him for quite some time now. And so his passing, while shocking, is something that the county will continue to deal with and have to come to grips with going forward, because he certainly had a number of projects that he was instrumental in helping develop. A couple of things I want to talk about is just the process real quickly. They have decided that there's going to be a special election which will be held on December the 19th. Now that date is determined based on a series of dates that have to be achieved for applications getting sent in, making sure all the paperwork's being properly reviewed and authorized, signatures being verified, and so on. What's going to happen is on July 29th, Tom Kramer, who is the acting a county exec, and is also the board chair. He will actually be going through the process of recommending an appointment to the position up until such time as the election is actually held on December the 19th. So with that having been said, there will be an appointment to the position for an interim period of time, which again will occur on July the 29th. Terms are for 4 years. Jonathan's term would have gone until 2027. However, the new person that does get elected will end up serving until 27, and then it will go into a 4-year cycle from there as well. Thought it was appropriate to just let you all know what that cycle would be. Terry, I believe I forwarded some of the information on the special election. Certainly share it accordingly. Another part of what I wanted to talk about just briefly was, and again, also please share the information I forwarded, Tim. I know as the liaison, I share it with you as well, as I sent a copy of the capital expense plan, or I should say presentation, as it's been set up for the county over the course of the next 3 to 5 to 7 years. And the areas, of course, being highlighted are things regarding the 911 system, which everybody knows is a topic of conversation. Certainly public safety center, which they're talking about constructing, mental health facility. These are all the big items that are obviously getting the attention right now. Reef Point Marina, unfortunately in need of a lot of attention, a lot of areas which don't meet certain regulations and regulatory requirements right now. So that's a 4-phase project. It won't happen immediately. It's over time. And the last thing being the construction of an ice arena that, while the county is looking at being a participant in, they've actually raised twice as much money private wise to be able to help pay for this. So those are some of the things that you'll see again, Terry, whenever you have the chance to share that with everybody. And by the way, it's open to the public. We want everybody to know what's going on. Would you like me to do the I'm sorry, any questions regarding the county status update right now? We may even hear some more because tomorrow night is our meeting. So we'll probably get an update at that point, and then we'll go from there. WWMD, we're doing well right now. Harvesting's gone very, very smoothly this year, as well as had the treatments of the waterway. Knock on wood, we've seen a tremendous performance throughout in all the areas. And I'd like to even acknowledge Chris Hackman is sitting in the crowd, and certainly it's his team that are actually the operators of our harvesting equipment. And so we certainly appreciate the partnership that we have with Chris and his team with Midwest Irrigation. We are going to do a couple of spot treatments. We've been notified that places like Waterford Woods and a couple of others are in need of some additional attention. And so we're going to be taking care of that here in the near term as well. I would tell you we're in the middle of our budgeting process. You're all certainly familiar with that. So we have to have that completed and approved as a board by August, our August meeting, which is I think August the 18th or 19th, which will be then 1 month before the annual meeting, which is at the end of September, the last Saturday of September. And the last thing I'll report on the WWMD is I did send the report off regarding the level of the dam as it relates to the water. And once again, I think that we've seen some great progress with our work with Bob Anders, who was the dam operator. Don't mean dam operator, the operator of the facility. Bob has done a nice job to help manage it on the higher end of the spectrum that he has to work with. And by doing so, it's helped the water levels of the entire watershed right now. So again, you've got the report. We've had more precipitation, which is something we do expect to work to our advantage. However, he has the ability to turn it on more or turn it off more. And he's been doing a very nice job of helping manage it. So I certainly want to recognize that as well. So I will take care of that. And do you want me to wait for a little bit on just an update on Balloon Fest? Because I'm happy to wait if you'd like.
No, go ahead.
Okay, very good. And thank you for the opportunity, by the way. Obviously, a week ago Saturday, we had Balloon Fest over at Waterford Town Park. All in all, I think it was a very, very successful day, which is hard for me to say because the balloons didn't go up, the balloons didn't inflate, and the balloons didn't even give people tether rides. However, everything else that was done went extremely well. We had the helicopter operator said it was his best day, the drone racers, the craft operators, the kid zone area, the beverage, the food court. Everything went extremely well from that perspective. The weather was obviously not to our advantage with 15 to 25 mile an hour winds. Not much you can do about that. But I will say that all in all, the people seem to enjoy it. even in spite of the fact that the balloons didn't get to be the showcase that we expected them to be. I'd like to thank certainly all the people from the Lions Club, certainly all the people from Waterford Union High School, the sponsors, everybody that we had as a part of this event. It went extremely well from that perspective. And, you know, it's a one-day event, and obviously you get up for the game, and we did our best, and I think people generally were happy. I know that down your agenda tonight, there's a topic regarding the ordinances on public parking or street parking. And I think that'll be a topic that we'll all want to have some additional discussion on going forward as well, because I know that there was some challenges with some of the parking in a couple of the areas of, sorry, forgive me, Golden Meadows. And we did fine on our end, although we did have the problem where we couldn't put any cars on the infield of the baseball diamonds. Simply because we had the rain the night before. We did our best to try to, we even brought helicopters in to try to dry them out. It did work for a while, but unfortunately at some point it just, you ran out of space. So otherwise, thank you for the opportunity to support it. We were thrilled to have the police there. We were thrilled to have the fire department there. They had themselves set up. Sorry, excuse me. Someone bothering me. You can't hear it, but it's in my hearing aids. So with that having been said, we appreciate having that support to have them out there. And we did have an incident happen, which made it even that much more comfortable, if you will. They were around to help support us. It was a little girl turned up missing, but she was found pretty, I say quickly, but to a mom, being missing for 7 to 8 minutes is an eternity. And so, knock on wood, everybody pulled together, the Lions pulled together, the police, fire, and we made sure that it was a very minimal effect in the long run, and everybody ended up being happy. So, any questions on anything I've shared?
I just like to make a comment. It's kind of like a wedding, all the preparation that it's done in one day. You and I am always grueling for you at times, and I just want to publicly say I appreciate you working with me. I know that sometimes it wasn't fun for you, but
That's an understatement. I'll leave it at that. And by the way, and let's be clear, and I also didn't always agree, but I understood.
Yeah, and I appreciate working together, and thank you. And I know all the hard work because I showed up with my grandson later on, and you look pretty tired. So,
It was a long day. Let's put it that way. Yes, Dave.
We got this one thing, what's the status on dredging this year?
Status of dredging. We are right now, we're in the middle of having the quarry. We no longer call it Site X. The quarry is being reviewed right now by an engineering firm, whether or not we'll have the ability to use it as the offloading location. If we are able to use that as the offloading location, then we have to go through the next set of steps with the community and with the actual engineering of the space itself. But we're doing a pre-screen on it right now, which will tell us whether or not it's even viable as a location. If it's not viable as a location, then we have some serious issues, because until we can have a location for 150,000 cubic yards, there is no project. So that's what we have to make sure we've got. And unfortunately, that's what Grant and the team have been working on trying to locate. And it's just been a very difficult and long road to follow right now.
We're talking about location X just up the street.
Pardon me?
We're talking about location X just up the street.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, that's the one up the street is the quarry.
Yeah.
That's what we're hoping for. And
Yeah, 'cause in the past, we had talked to Mr. Pease about pumping up to his gravel pit, but you're not talking about that anymore.
No,
Okay, just
sorry.
clarify that.
Anything else?
Do you happen to know the wind limits for hot air balloons?
I sure do.
I bet you are.
But you darn right, I know. I can tell you a lot about hot air balloons, more than I ever wanted
I
to
know
know.
very little about them, so.
I can tell you that if the wind speed gets in excess 6 miles an hour, they are not permitted to take off. However, between 6 and 10 miles an hour, they will let the balloons be inflated, which would have allowed us the opportunity to do the tether ride and also do the nighttime glow. But the winds were between 15 and 25 miles an hour at the surface. You go up 500 feet, they were actually, I believe they said it was 28 to 32 miles an hour up there.
Oh, you can get a substantial difference.
So we knew all day long that the winds were going to be the challenge. And that's why, by the way, that's why we don't just create it about the balloons. We try to create a festival around the entire area and community. And for that reason, it seemed to work. Fortunately, the balloons didn't make it. Probably want to let me get off. There's other people that want to talk to. So thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
Do I have to talk again?
No. Thank you, Greg. Police department, I've got a report from them. On you, their presentation tonight. For the town only, they divided it up. Number of traffic calls, 101. Number of citations, 77. Warnings, 56. Ordinance violations, 7. Arrests, 6. DA Rex, 2. Number of warrants cleared, 2. Truancy, 1. Extra attentions, crime preventions, 173. Building checks, 54. Welfare checks, 3. Rescue runs, 17. Parking violations, 11. Parking permissions, 5. Number of assist other jurisdictions, 11. And total number of calls for service includes all the above plus additional 506. So that's what we have for that. You have anybody here from Michigan Fire? I don't see tonight. Do you have anything, Doug, for Michigan at all? Waterford, we don't have anybody here.
They were supposed to start sending theirs over. I'll have to talk to them.
What's that?
I'll have to talk to Waterford again. They were supposed to start sending theirs over every month.
Okay. We do have, we added again, the Board of Health, and I just have just a little bit of information on heat-related illnesses. Symptoms of a heat-related illness could include headache, which means I probably have heat-related illness every day. I'm only kidding. Headache, dizziness, weakness, nausea, thirst. If you're experiencing any of these symptoms when it's really hot outside, you need to move to a cooler place. Hydrate, cool compresses. Heat stroke would be someone who's maybe confused. Their skin would be really hot and red. They would have a very rapid pulse. They may even faint or have loss of consciousness. Obviously dialing 911, immediately cool the person down any ways you can. Spraying with water any way you can. I think this is another really good reason why, maybe especially for the car show coming up in August, that we do have EMTs on the ground, because it gets pretty hot and we need to people be aware of the symptoms and what to do. So that's pretty much it for Board of Health. Kennewick Park.
Well, that's the best, and just give a few. I don't have a whole lot for the park, but we got through Moon Fest. We'll get ready for the next big event. It'll be the end of the month for the car show. So there's a lot of area there to maintain, so we'll get that underway. That's all I have for the park. The pickleball courts coming along. We got the basketball hoops out. Now gathering things ready to get the new tubes in. The old hoops are at the welders, getting new adapters put on. We're gonna put those inside side tubes. And the seal coat guy and the striper, and maybe by next month we'll get it together. See how weather and how this all works out. Hopefully we can get it done.
Oh, thank you. High roads.
To roads, okay. Well, first thing first, Town Line Road. The white lights were striped today, yellow was last week. So I didn't see them yet, but they're striped. So hopefully it turned out okay. The next thing is those 2 farm entrance covers we have to do, and a little bit of ditch work. Not much left. Met with the engineers there and the DNR last week. They gotta do another permit. It's near wetlands, near 2 lakes. So we get that underway, we can get the grade set and get those short areas of ditch, some on the north side and some on the south side. That work should only take 3 to 4 days. Get a grade all excavated, and then that'll be done. Okay, moving on to Banner Park Road. Met with the village and the village engineer, our engineer, to do a drive-through on Banner Park Road and how all that's gonna work out between pedestrian pathways and sidewalks. So now they're doing all the measuring and doing all the engineering stuff. To get it done by this fall, plausible. It's gonna be close. If not, it may have to be earlier this spring to go off the bids, but they're gonna try to get this fall. It's a lot to do, so. And then, of course, meetings with the village, so everybody's on board and how it's gonna get done. That's a huge project, so I can't wait to get that one going. Next is Tin Harbor. We're gonna do this year, and Miller Road may have to be put off until August, depending upon which way they're gonna go with Highway 20. They're gonna open that up. We're still gonna replace the culvert on Miller Road with East Troy.
Okay.
Just a matter of when they're gonna open that up by the railroad tracks over there. So that may end up being pushed off until maybe the end of August. Stark knows about it. They're fine with it. Now we can move on and start with, in Harbor. And I talked to the, construction guys today on the culvert prices on, there's 6 culverts we gotta replace in there. 24, 315s, and 218s. So there's 6 in total. So waiting for a price. His wife had to go to the hospital today. I always would have gave me the prices today, but I do not have them. As soon as I get them, I'll work with Dale on that. We have a little extra in the road, but so to speak, not a lot. We got 23,000 left with extras. Pretty much gonna chew most of that up. 4 of the covers are 52 feet long, so it's gonna take a little bit, but it's easy to get because it's a subdivision. Situation there. That's all I have for that.
Any questions or comments from anyone?
Did on the Schimmel drainage issue,
Oh, talking about the area.
north
Yeah,
of
Dale and I were just talking about that today. I'll call the engineer, get a meeting together. I still have the numbers of the homeowners there. Who's gonna maintain that area? I know Dale and I talked about it. If not, we may go through there and just rough cut it. I know they cut it more. That's a pretty big area. It needs to be mowed just a few times a year.
And I just want to say thank you to you and your guys for your speedy responses and picking up all the trash that somebody has been dumping out on the west side.
Yeah,
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I don't like people just pull over on the side. of the road.
I mean, I swear somebody got rid of a whole car out there, it looks
The silver Buick,
like.
parts, pieces, doors, windows, everything, bumpers. Yeah, that's a lot of good to pick that up.
No,
Anything else?
thank you, Ken.
Good report. Thank you, Ken.
Oh, yeah, Town Planning Commission recommendations, Tom?
There's only 2 things that we're really talking about, the agenda, conditional use site plan reviews, which have been ongoing for many years, and they were both approved, what I've been told. I'll make a motion to approve and support.
I'll second that motion.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Moving on to old business, discussion and possible. We're gonna get this done tonight. Repealing and creating section 3.04 of the municipal code as it relates to parking limitations. Revisions have been made since the last meeting on June 10th. So you all have a copy of the revisions that were made. We discussed it. At number 2, so it's been stricken. Under number 4, the highest ranking police officer or town board designee.
Oh, oops, so I think you gotta go with this one.
I think
Does
you,
everybody have the red line one?
She emailed it today.
Okay.
the police chief or designee as directed by the town board designee. Thank you. And under number 6, we have monetary penalty in the event a citation is issued. The bond amount shall be no less than $30. And then we changed the, was there for forfeiture? I don't think we're putting a forfeiture note, bond amount, right? Collection of forfeiture. I think that we should discuss not having a forfeiture, if we're able to change that. Yeah,
The judge was okay with that, just in the, you know.
thank you. So can I have a motion on that, please?
motion to approve it.
Second. Oh, go ahead.
Any more discussion? Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Thank you. Special events application for the Watering Hole Beach Drive, request to serve alcohol outside for the day, temporary permits changed. Brenda, come up front, please. And I know we've all got the permit application. I just want to make a couple things clear first, because I've had some phone calls and questions. the plan is to have parking at the Civic Center.
I mean, we'll use our lot, but, we're not asking for special permission to park on the road. Excuse me, the Penny Bar is donating their shuttle and a driver, and they're gonna shuttle people back and forth.
And I think there was just a question, or we're not quite sure about the time of the event at the water pole, because I know there's things at the Civic Center.
It's,
And
her celebration is starting at the Civic and then started about right after dinner, which is like 4 o'clock, I believe. After dinner, then there's gonna be a lot of people going home, doing older people and family from out of town and stuff like that. But the plan is to have some people, a party down at the watering hole for her. We're asking for music, live music for 3 hours. It's either gonna be 5:30 to 8:30 or 6 to 9. So it won't be anything past that. We're also asking that we can sell alcohol outside for 1 day.
okay. And I do just want to read, we received a letter from residents. They share their deepest sympathies for the family and friends mourning this, the loss. It's a tragic event. I'm sorry about that. We do not oppose the excess capacity that may result from this event. We do not oppose the one-time exception of the serving of alcohol outside for this time. Although we also believe that serving alcohol in the tavern and letting guests carry the beverages outside is sufficient. If the exception is approved by the board, we have the following requests: that it move indoors no later than 10 p.m. and alcohol no longer be served outside after that time. Music no longer being played outside after 10 p.m. On any day, including the outside speaker. We are concerned that this request could lead to a precedent that we strongly oppose. And we have a lot of signatures, so we just kind of want to talk about that. We talked about like the 5 to 8, or you said maybe 6 to 9.
Right, we're working with the
Definitely be done
former.
by 9. Outside music.
I can understand we can stop alcohol sales, after 9 o'clock or whatever time we decide. And the music is fine. Why can't we be outside after 9 o'clock? I mean, show me another bar that says you can't be outside after 9 o'clock.
There's probably noise. I mean, I'm guessing.
Every bar in this area has neighbors.
Yeah.
And they all have live entertainment. They all have tents and outside. I'm asking for a day.
And we do have, like I said, we have a number of signatures. We do have some people here that may want to ask questions or something. I just want to go through this first with the board. So we want to get this. So again, on the application, we have a question mark. I want to have a definite time end for the outside, right? For the music outside. For
The music for sure by 9 o'clock. I have no problem stopping alcohol sales at 9 o'clock. But there's gonna be a lot of people there. So we have an occupancy of that bar about 60. So there's 80 people there, 20 people. I just never heard of it before. That you can look at the other, I don't need to name all the bars. They all have neighbors. Some of them are even closer. And some of them have a lot more neighbors. And they're allowed to do this whenever they want. I'm asking for a day.
So does anybody in here? So anybody on the board, questions, comments?
You're gonna have a shuttle going from the Civic Center to your bar.
Yes. Crazy Train is donating their tent. Penny Bar is donating their shuttle. Bobbers is gonna bring however many pizzas we want, 15, 20 pizzas, later in the night. So we've got a really big community atmosphere that is donating to this evening for this lady.
And I think that the main concern that I'm hearing from people is, people understand other circumstances. I think the main concern that I'm hearing is that they want to make sure that we're not setting a precedence, right? And you understand that this is a special dispensation for this event, and anything that you want to do in the future, obviously would have to get it, special events and come before.
I don't have a problem I don't want it to be closed though. Like, I can't ever apply for another permit to have a party outside just because I did it once. You understand what I'm saying? They don't want to set precedents. I get that. So, okay, you're not giving me an open permit to have live music every single day like most every bar around here does without issue. So next year, if I want to have a summer party, just because we didn't want to set precedent today, I can't apply for, I'll be denied.
No, it's not bad. I think that they just want to make sure that we're not setting a precedence, that this is something that goes on, all the
I
time.
think it's like
You always
5
have to
a year
come
or
before
something.
the board and get, right, and
Right.
get approval for that.
I think Hilltop gets like 5 a year. Bowers has music twice a week. I know this isn't town anymore or in its village, but every single bar around there, every single weekend, they're having outdoor music in the summertime. All I want to do is have, Hilltop gets fine. Bowers gets as many as they want.
Have we seen those types of events?
I don't think we've approved anything for the Hilltop.
That's what I thought it was. So that's just me talking because that's what I was told at one point. But I just don't want I understand. I have no intention on having music outside every single weekend at the water now. It's not a neighborhood.
I know somebody brought up something about speakers outside.
There's one speaker outside and I can regulate that where you cannot turn it up any longer. I can through the jukebox because it runs through the jukebox. I can set that speaker up that nobody can turn it up over a certain decibel. If it's one, I bet you there's been outside music. I bet that speaker's been turned on a handful of times.
Yeah.
But I'm not when I'm there. But I can also have that turned down too. So all you gotta do is that. Say, hey, can you cut that music volume in half? And I can do that stuff. But
What time though? Yeah. It's now midnight.
So anybody
Nobody
on the
else.
board with any?
if nobody will come in this time.
If anybody- Did anybody fill out a comment form?
Because people didn't.
Yes.
There's nobody out there.
If there wasn't, all you did, I'll just say, I don't know.
How do we do that? Who do we call?
Give me my phone number, you can call.
So we're gonna do it this way, just because we need to keep the order here.
I don't want to be,
You guys-
I want to be good for you.
Mr. Sackman, we're gonna do it this way because we need to keep the order here. You guys can discuss anything you want to discuss outside. I do have a comment form from Julie Plants. So first I'm gonna say, does the board have any more questions or comments for Mr. Sackman right now? And then, thank you, and then we will let Julie come up and make her comments, please.
Thank you, appreciate it. As the note said, we don't oppose this request as a one-time request, but I wanted to make a note that the request for this establishment to serve alcohol outside in a beer garden style with music and alcohol being served and sold outside has been brought to the Racine County, Economic Development Committee multiple times in the past. They've always said no, that's a change in use of this establishment, which is not what all of us bought into when we bought into our neighborhood. And Chris knew that when he decided to operate the tavern as well. It's public record. It's been brought forward multiple times. So this outside serving of alcohol has been denied many times. We're not opposing this specific use, but we do oppose the once a month when I feel like having a party. I mean, it's a little tiny establishment with a small capacity in a huge neighborhood. So it's not an appropriate use of that space. So we do oppose that. And we understand the need to run a business. But the business as it was established, not expanding the use of that facility into many other types of. So we oppose that. We don't oppose this specific thing. We do just ask that, and when we said move inside, I mean, if people are sitting outside, it's the noise that's the issue. Houses are from me to you away from the bar. And if the speaker is playing or a lot of people are outside, it gets super noisy. This is a one-time deal, so it's not a really big deal. when we said move inside, we meant the alcohol sale and the music, not necessarily every single person has to not be outside. So that was just a miscommunication. Any questions for me, or other members of the neighborhood are here as well? And the people who signed this, just for your information, are all the houses immediately adjacent. We didn't go any further than that. We're just trying to save your time by not having 10 of us come up and say the same things to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And I do appreciate the fact that you didn't bring up, the dates that Racine County Economic Development and Use Committees have denied the right to serve alcohol outside, September of 2006, March of 2021. So this has been denied in the past. I appreciate you providing that information for us.
Anybody else?
The license we approved last month is also only for indoor sales, so that is also a condition of the license. I understand this is a one-off thing. Also, town ordinance 5.065D is our noise nuisance ordinance. I would encourage everybody involved in this to look at that. And I would ask everybody to please be good neighbors. If you can sort things out amongst yourselves, that's the easiest thing to do. If it doesn't work, if there's a violation, you have the police department to handle these things as well. I don't want it to come to that, but that's why we have.
Right, we have had a little bit of a struggle with that in the past, but Chris just offered his phone number, so I'll make sure the neighborhood has it. And when we have noise going on, I mean, obviously you're not there every time it's open. And I think that it's usually a late night thing, so we certainly can call him first. If we don't get resolution, then move from there.
I appreciate Mr. Sackman doing it too, so.
Yeah.
Please
Is there a
call
decibel
in.
limit,
It's on a Saturday quiet hour start from 10 PM until 8 AM on Sunday. I don't see a decibel limit. It talks about excessive or unusual noise that will disturb the comfort or repose of the persons therein or in the vicinity.
Okay,
I thought we did have a
We-
decibel limit,
We
yeah.
did change it at a decimal limit. So I know that they were talking about the.
Last time we looked at it, we didn't have the ability to monitor the decibel limit.
We do.
So I don't know if that's changing now.
No, we got a decibel.
Well, we have one now, but we didn't have it before.
Yeah.
We'll check into it, but
We
we
have to double check. on
we did.
ordinance.
But do we have a meter now?
Yes,
We
do.
did, because we had a meter.
Yeah.
But then you should be able
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, like you said, you can get a lot further just trying to talk with each other, so before they get a hold of the police department.
Right.
Right. So we do have an end time at 9 PM,
for the
right,
music
for
and
the
that.
music. I guess the question is, outside service of alcohol. Make sure it's done at 9, make sure, we're cognizant of our neighbors, and to be understanding that this is a special dispensation, it's for the celebration of life, but we're allowing this variance, it's one time for you, and anything else you want to do in the future, you would have to come before the board, okay?
I'll make a motion that we approve, special event permit. I'm just the only change I'm gonna make is if you put 9:30 outside, because every band they like, or, yeah, I didn't know he's happy. If every band, they wanna play one extra song, I don't wanna avoid any issues. So it gives them a half hour before they wanted it shut down, and a half hour leeway, just based on, I don't know what you're doing. And I may be at the event, but I'll definitely be at the Civic Center one. But, I appreciate the neighbors working together with them, stuff like that. It's a very sad story and stuff like that, so, I'll make that motion, we approve this one time event.
I'll second it.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
I'm sorry, all music and noise and alcohol. will stop
9:30,
by
9:30. Like I said, they can't control the people, there's somebody out smoking, but, then our ordinance kicks in, something happens after 9:30. They call Chris, or they call the police, it's not open.
They can still sell alcohol in the bar.
In the bar, sorry,
Yes.
in the bar.
I'm sorry.
I said
So
9:30.
that's good, got it. Thank you. Second, okay, any more discussion? All in favor? Oh, sorry. Yes, Mr. Zia.
This area is not the area it used to be. And I'm sure everybody up there is aware of the summer bar and the winter bar. And I don't think that the residents in that area should have to suffer any undue because he didn't do his due diligence for getting involved in that town. All right, and nobody is opposed to the one time, but we just don't need another continuance. Thank you.
Okay, we appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, we had a first and a second and a motion. We do all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna bring up as our liaison, summer hours for clerk and treasurer office. With everything that's been going on lately, there's absolutely no way that we would ever be able to let our clerks take off the comp time that they should be taking off, or the office would probably be closed for a month straight. So we're looking at this, summer hours. So they would work Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 like normal, and then Fridays would be from 8 to 11. It's a way to let them get a little bit of their comp time in, without, again, there's just no way that we'd be able to let them. There's 2 of them. They've been doing a phenomenal job, especially lately. We've had asked a lot of them with everything that's been going on. And so that's what we came up with. So can I have a motion for that?
Motion, I'll move to approve that.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None? Thank you. And the chair report, I'm just gonna do a really quick, I just want everyone to have an understanding with the situations that we've got going on at the police department. It's just, it's costing money. And right now, we had to get actually a special approval from the bank because our payroll exceeded the threshold. So this is an issue, okay, that we're looking into dealing with on many different ways to try to deal with this as we work our way through this. This has only happened one other time in the history of the past 25 years that I've been here. And just so everyone is aware, so far, our labor attorney fees just for the month of May were $13,000. So we do have some issues and that we're working. And I want to thank Supervisor Eulinger for being with me and the town clerks just about every single day, dealing with different issues, different things going on, trying to handle everything. And we're just really trying to keep a handle on the budget for the taxpayers and looking at all the different ways that we can do that. So I just wanted to put that out there so everyone has an understanding. Okay. All right. I have a motion. Oh, any more events? All the cars are on this, but. I have a motion to adjourn.
Oh,
I don't know if you wanted, a visitation or,
Oh, yeah, thank you.
I don't know if you want to announce for research.
Yeah, I'd like to bring that up. The visitation for County Executive Delegate would be tomorrow. It's at Grace Church in Racine.
There will be a visitation from 10 until 11, and then there will be the service immediately following. There was also a visitation this afternoon.
And be prepared if you want to go, because I'm sure it'll be quite
It'll
the
be.
amount of people there.
And then, planning commission, Teresa Nelson.
Yeah, but, I'll see it again. That's why I said it. And planning commission, we've got Risa, who is resigning after about 9 years. She just has a lot of other stuff going on right now. So we will be looking at someone else to join us. So we'll put that out there. If you want to get information to the office, if you're interested. And we'll look that over and appoint somebody new. So, all right.
next month. So get their applications in.
All right, can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. 6:15 p.m. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for reminding me on this. I didn't know if you wanted to or not. It seems to me it is. It's probably because-